Good evening, good morning, wherever you at. It doesn't matter. We are definitely happy that you're here. You are listening to the 36 Chambers of Crypto Taxes podcast series. If you don't know why I put 36 chambers in there, you got to research your hip hop history. But listen, guys, as we know, I'm a tax accountant and I like to educate people about crypto taxes because you can't be a crypto millionaire and don't think the IRS is going to come after you. However, nobody will always want to hear about crypto taxes. I'm a tax accountant. I barely want to hear about it all the time. So I'm a strong believer that in order to take full advantage of the crypto space, the blockchain industry, we must all learn from each other, whether you're an attorney, a tax accountant, whatever the case may be. And I like to really spotlight people that I found interesting and I think they can share their knowledge about the whole industry. And today we got with us with Charles Forrest of Crypto Black. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in a Facebook group and I forgot what the message that he said, but I'm like, yo, I got to shoot my shot and see if he do an interview. And luckily, he was like, yes. And then I looked at his website. I said, oh man, I love his background and stuff like that because I love people that keep it real and don't sell you a dream. And I think we're gonna learn a lot today. So, yo, Charles, thank you for coming out, man. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, Jamal? Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, my name is Charles, Crypto Chuck, with the group Crypto Black. Got into crypto, man, tail end of 2016, going into 2017. Buddy of mine's called me and was like, hey, man, yo, you ever heard of Bitcoin? I'm like, yeah, I think I heard of it, whatever. And then he was like, yeah. So I was like, just tell me about it, basically. You know what I mean? So he broke everything down to me. And then I put $100 for Bitcoin, and then because I was buying stocks and stuff, like you know what I mean, doing that. I got into stocks, buying stocks and everything around like 2008 when that market crashed, and I was just like, hey, me and my buddy was like, yo, this is another friend of mine. He was like, yo, everything is down, so we might as well buy it, right? All these companies, so we might as well buy it in 2008 when that crash, and then like, yeah, obviously we seen it start going up. So fast forward here to Bitcoin, learn about Bitcoin. Stocks move real slow though. So with Bitcoin, like I was seeing it move up like 7, 8% in like a day. And I was like, yo, this is what I get in like a year. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And then the fees was much cheaper. At that time, the fees, you had to, the trade was like, $7, $8 a trade, back and forth. But in crypto, the fees are so much lower. You know what I mean, to buy and sell. But I put my first $100 in, and then it was going up. I put another $100 in. You know what I mean? And then I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then, after that, that's when I got orange pilled. You know what I mean? And then I just, just after I just start, kept buying, started investing more and more. And then I wasn't telling anyone about it though. I was like, let me sit back and chill because I don't really want to tell too many people about it. You know what I mean? And then it blows up my face.
Yeah, your aunts,
So
your uncles be screaming
yeah,
at you. I got you.
yeah. And plus I was doing mortgages and stuff at the time. I had, and I had my so I couldn't really talk too much about it. And I didn't want to like, something happened and then people like, oh man, you this or that, whatever.
Yeah.
I got scammed, and then all of a sudden, my license up there. So I was like, all right, let me, I ain't gonna say nothing. But man, it just kept going up. And it's funny because 2017 bull run happened.
Yeah.
And then, that's when I started telling everybody, I think around like summertime of 2017, I was like, yo, y'all gotta get into this. Y'all, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? But what people they try to do that get rich quick stuff. And I was like, no, 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 no. You can make some money. This is just another way, you can invest. It's easier to get into.
Mhm.
It's not as hard to not, do too much, to invest. And you don't have to own a whole, buy a whole share. You know what I mean? Like how Bitcoin was. I mean, like stocks, you had to buy a whole share. This before Robinhood and all that stuff. Everybody started going crazy over that. So I started teaching people about it. Started Crypto Black, co-founder my man A1 Crypto. He the one that actually got me into Bitcoin, and a few other ladies as well. And we created Crypto Black, the group Crypto Black. And then that was like summer, yeah, like probably like summer, spring going into summer 2017. So we created Crypto Black, the Facebook group. A lot of people came in, and everybody rah rah crypto. And so that's pretty much my start. That's how my start from there.
I like that you educated the community because I always feel like we, especially as African Americans, we are always like the last people to do know about this. Like we
Mm-hmm.
say, 2017 is when the media finally gave it some notice, and then everybody and their mother trying to get into it, and it was just going out of insane. And then when it goes up and down, people's like, "Ah, it's a Ponzi scheme! It's a Ponzi scheme!"
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. So when people throw that Ponzi scheme, I hate debating with people about it, but I like to hear people's views on it. When people say, "Yo, this is a Ponzi scheme," like, how do you respond to them?
Well, I tell them, Bitcoin is a technology, and I think everybody needs to start, crypto. You have some cryptos that are Ponzi's, right?
Yes.
But and I tell people everybody always asking me, "Hey man, what should I get? What should I get?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not telling you financial advice." I said, but the first few things, the first coin you want to get is Bitcoin. Period. You know what I mean? I know you heard about Doge. I know you heard about this, heard about that, heard all these stories, but that's the same thing as you heard about the guy that went down the street and bought a lottery ticket. You know what I mean? And became a millionaire.
Uh,
But you do it. You've been playing it. Your dad, mom and dad, and aunts, and uncles been playing it for 20, 30 years. Y'all ain't hit the jackpot yet. You know what I mean? But that one guy that did hit the jackpot. So, I say, start with Bitcoin. With Bitcoin first, then Ethereum as well. And in regards to Ponzi schemes, it's a technology. And that's what people gotta understand. A lot of people come in. No, we live in a first world country, so we have access to banks and all other stuff. You know what I mean? But if people travel the world, they see, hey, look, man, a lot of people don't have access to banks. A lot of people live in rural areas probably have one bank in the whole community, even in this country, and they don't have a ride out there, to the bank. With crypto, especially Bitcoin, you can go around. It's borderless. It's trustless. There's no middleman in there. So it's a technology to where you're able to actually own your own bank. I can sit there and have $1 million in my phone, get on a plane, and go, and then able to go out of the country or go across the country, and then nobody would know I have $1 million sitting in my phone, and
mm.
I can move it, and I can move $1 million without signing any paperwork or doing anything. You see what I'm saying? It's trustless, it's borderless. All they want to know is, hey, basically the node's going to say, hey, look, you got $1 million in Bitcoin. You want to send it to another wallet? There you go.
Yeah, and you know what, and I get this a lot because I speak to people about, and I don't give no financial advice because you're not coming after me. So let that be my disclaimer. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm just all about educating y'all. But just think about this, because when people say, "Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme," yo, just do the research of banks, mortgage.
Mhm.
I don't want to get you in trouble. Mortgage companies, anybody that kind of messes with money, you
Social
can find some
Security.
stuff on them.
Social Security is a
The
Ponzi scheme.
government. You can find some stuff to be like, ooh, but still, we still get the money to the bank. We still
Mhm.
gotta get that mortgage. We still do the credit cards. Everyone talk about credit cards. But I think what people think is like, is Bitcoin or nothing? Is the exchange that kind of did people wrong or nothing? But there's over tens of thousands of crypto. But like you say, the first two, boom, the basics, and then you gotta do your research.
Mhm.
You just can't look at every social media guy and just be like, oh, you're looking at Ja Rule giving you crypto advice.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to really do your research and just do know that everything has a risk. Even your
Mhm.
dollar, you don't think there's confident money out there. There's fake money
Mhm.
out there. We're
Mhm.
not saying that we're not going to use the dollar. So I just like to preach just to be safe and just know who to listen to, man. It's just a
Mhm.
lot of noise out there, man. And the media is the biggest noise maker, man.
Yeah, yeah. And we got rules in crypto, right? The first two rules is never invest more than you can afford to lose. And another rule is not your keys, not your coins. And my
Mm.
man, like I like to say a lot with my man Bitcoin Zay a lot. What he says, not your keys, not your cheese, right? So so
uh,
and that's the thing. Like a lot of people got to understand, hear these different things going on with crypto. So, oh, it's Ponzi or this and that, it's a scam, da da da. But they don't understand the companies are. Bitcoins is a bunch of developers working on something to where we all have freedom. So if the government, a lot of people say, hey man, yeah, Bitcoin gonna replace the dollar, Bitcoin gonna replace this and that. No, it's not that. It's Bitcoin wasn't created to replace anything. Bitcoin was created to have an alternative to the current money system. when the banks are going crazy, when the governments are going crazy, they're trying to lock you out. Guess what? We can do transactions. Jamal said, hey, look, man, I can do your taxes, but send me 0.001 Bitcoin instead of, because he don't trust his bank, then I can send him that. And he can do my taxes. Or, hey man, somebody say, look, I got a restaurant, send me X amount of Bitcoin, like what they doing on Bitcoin Island in El Salvador. Hey, send me X amount of Bitcoin and you can eat at my restaurant, or you can buy a Pepsi, you can buy this, you can buy that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. If Bitcoin was really the main goal to replace the dollar, it'd be a no go because the government don't play. And I represent a lot of people from the IRS. The IRS is not going to lose money like that.
Yeah.
But you know, but the thing is, and what got me passionate about, especially 2017, because I didn't have the slightest clue about that crap until the media just like it's going up, 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 up. I'm like, oh shoot. But here's the deal, guys. It's great to be a Bitcoin billionaire, millionaire, trillionaire, whatever the hell you be. But I just have problems when you feel like you're exempt from paying the taxes. Now, we can have debates whether or not it should be taxable or not. Whatever. That's your prerogative. But for now, the law is taxable, guys. So, you have to listen to people within the like groups like Crypto Black and stuff like that, but you also got to listen to different individuals, whether it's security individuals. There's people that all they worry about is the security of your wallets and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Don't not listen to them because it's not sexy. You got people like me with the taxes. Listen, I could guarantee y'all the IRS is coming up. You know, the last 3 years, because I do a lot of audits, the last 3 years they've been trying to catch up. So if you know that you spent a lot, if you either transferred a lot of crypto or you sold it, please do your taxes. Please join groups like Crypto Black and just be educated on it because it's the worst. You don't want to be that person that you're on social media saying you're a crypto millionaire and the IRS sends you a beautiful letter saying, oh, by the way, congrats. You owe us 300K. Nah, be proactive. Don't be surprised. Don't throw the government is evil. We know they kind of evil, but that's not the point. But we know that you're supposed to do taxes. And that's why I love your groups and stuff like that, man. Do you feel like because a lot of times when I tell people about their tax applications, like, the government can't find me. I'm like, yo, man, they don't need to find you. They need to find the exchange. Because I could guarantee you, and maybe you could talk about this too, if you think that exchange is if the government comes to exchange and be like, yo, give me Jamal's info, you think they're gonna fight for you? Say, nah, nah, nah. They're gonna give up your info. They're gonna find you. So what do you feel about that when people tell you like, the government can't find me?
Was yeah, they won't have access. Well, if it's on an exchange, if you, it all depends on how you buy it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But yeah, most people, they KYC, they own the big exchanges and everything like that. I'll tell you always keep your stuff off the exchanges because you just never know what will happen. We seen what happened with Celsius, Voyager, and a lot of exchanges. We've seen exchanges disappear. You know,
Mm,
and so in regards to people doing your taxes, make sure that you keep an idea of what you're buying and when you're selling. Also, I always say dollar cost average. It's the best case. I mean, if you just dollar cost average, like 100, I think I did something where I posted about dollar cost like $160. Because how I got it was a guy was like, "Hey man, I saved $160 since my child was born. It was like for like 5 years, and like they're five now." And then it showed they had a screenshot of their bank account. They had like 9,400, something like that, 9,500, something like that. They were like, I saved $160 a month. And then I like, well, if you dollar cost average over the last 5 years with Bitcoin, you'd have had like 40 something $1,000, like 41 grand. And
mm,
that's even with up and down. And then it's fun, it's crazy because that was during the down times.
wow.
And what a lot of people don't understand is you right now is when you want to invest. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So in regards to tax, but go back to your question, in regards to taxes, dollar, if, it's only if you sell. You know what I mean? That's only if you sell. You dollar cost averaging, you're not selling. You don't worry about capital gains tax. You just buying, buying, buying. But no, if you're buying and exchanges like just exactly what Jamal said, I think Coinbase coughed it up back in like 2017, 2018, like that. I think like 2018, where it was like anybody that was over 20,000 made over 20,000 or had over 20,000 inside their Coinbase accounts. They coughed up all that information to the IRS. So yeah, so you KYC, you on these exchanges, you're doing everything, the regular way. Yeah, they're gonna know who you are.
Mm. What like gets you excited about the future? And people do know that, Bitcoin is just a little tiny portion of this thing called blockchain technology, right? That's
Yeah.
that's the thing that really got me excited. Like all the different advances that this blockchain technology is gonna have in different industries. Let's not even talk about cryptocurrency. If y'all into metaverse, Facebook is trying to change the world with that crap. That's the blockchain, man. If y'all into these NFTs that every rap star is doing right now, blockchain technology. So let me ask you a question. Which blockchain potential gets you most excited?
Man, it was really exciting for me. And I'll tell anybody, if you haven't, make sure you go to these conferences. Because you're gonna learn about all the different industries that's coming up. I went to the Bitcoin conference down in Miami early this year. I was at NFT NYC a few months ago. So you understand so many different technologies. What I think was really gonna get me, what I'm really excited about, I would say two things.
Okay.
Two things. One is gonna be the real estate market with the blockchain, owning, different tokens or getting rewarded in tokens off of earning, I guess kind of like how the REITs are, and
Are we
buying
talking the
large
virtual real estate or are we talking about buying it real?
real
Okay.
real
Okay.
estate. And I guess you can say virtual too. Um, but owning real estate and tokenizing, shares of that actual building and those
Mm.
profits. I think that's gonna be crazy. Be able to actually own it and own large properties or and buy houses in Bitcoin. I've seen a lot of mortgage companies that's actually you can actually pay in Bitcoin. Like it's coming up. Like it's a few of them I've seen already at the conferences. And number two is the music industry.
Okay.
I think that right there is going to be crazy. Whereas even now you have artists able to pretty much put their music on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Is recorded on the blockchain. So if somebody coming after you, you know what I mean, and try to do it, and then you can say, "Oh no, 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 this is on the blockchain," and you can't move it. You can't. It can't be moved around or changed or anything like that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Can't be infringed on. Like you know what I mean? Because the blockchain is there. So you try to come in after me and say, oh, "Yeah, I did this." But oh no, no, no! I'm gonna take you right to the Etherscan. I'm gonna show you where I had it
I
eight
didn't
months
think about
before.
that.
Like you
Nah,
know what
that's
I mean?
dope. Yeah.
So you have that, and then you're pretty much able to actually own your music or own even if you do movies or shows or anything like that. You own your content. I think it's the greatest thing because it said I don't get to. Somebody said before I heard said the greatest invention that the other man created was a patent. Because what we did, we couldn't afford the patents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We couldn't, or we get our stuff
Mm.
stolen. We get our stuff stolen from us. You know what I mean? So the blockchain making it, even. You know what I mean? The entry is very easy to get into. It's not very, very expensive to get into.
So
You
you're
know?
sounding like if you're just starting out, or even if you're, making moves in industry, you should be like trying to learn about this to save your music and stuff like that, right?
Say your music, build your community. I put it like this. I was at NFT NYC right now, the Sandbox event. So basically it was sponsored by Warner Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
So all the music executives in there from Warner.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke with I think she was like the director. She was one of the top big wigs up there. It's like director of digital, whatever, in the music for Warner Music. And she was like, "Hey," and I asked her after the she got off stage. I said, "Listen," because it was a private event.
Okay.
So I was like, I said, "Question: How many artists or how many of your labels subsidiaries of Warner, I said, was actually in to the crypto and got their music on the blockchain and doing different things. She was like, tell you the truth, not really none of them.
Oh boy.
She said, and that's why we're here. We're trying to learn how can we tap into this space because we know it's going to be big.
Hmm.
So the labels, and we're talking about Warner. We're not talking about beat you up records, out of you know what I mean, in the hood,
Decatur,
whatever.
Georgia, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. You know what I mean? We're talking about Warner Music Group.
Hmm.
I mean, we're in New York City, and the crazy thing was, not even a block away, because we was pretty much a few blocks from Times Square. Not even a block away, it was a couple of brothers. They was selling CDs. They was, hey, bro, yo, man, you want to buy my CD off of me? And I'm just thinking in my head, like, yo, it's 2022. I don't have a
Hmm.
CD player. You know what I'm saying?
They still make those?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Nice. Okay.
So I listen to my music in my phone. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
you connect our phones to our cars. You know what I mean? Listen to our music like that. So we are so far behind. We got to catch up to what's going on.
Yeah, and
And
you tapped
whereas
into a big problem. Like, yeah, you just went to this event and corporations, they talk about this stuff. And then we get that
we
sprinkle down years after the fact. And they already made their plan. They already know they're gonna
everything
sell
is
it to us and boom.
boom. It's things so far. And a brother, I got shout him out too. He did Common Sense. What happened to Common Sense? He got a good YouTube channel. Eli, and he says a lot. He says, you got to know what's obvious before it's obvious.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So if Warner is saying, listen, we're trying to tap into the metaverse, and the community is built around music and putting it inside the metaverse, and also recording music and putting it onto the blockchain and that community and building it. And we over here still selling CDs,
Yeah.
something that was happening in 1995 and 94. We had it's ridiculous, because by the time this take off, we're gonna be too late.
Too late. Because it's not right now, it's just not sexy enough for the media to talk about. So that means like the general public is not gonna know about you was in a private event. Like not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people's in that bad boy. And but when you go in the community and speak about this, it sounds foreign to them and they disregard you and stuff like that. But listen, guys, all these major stuff, before we knew about the iPhones and all that, it was boring technology that was
Mm-hmm.
not discussed in the mass media. We're talking about, the big ones. So you really got to do the research. You really got to go through some boring crap.
Mm-hmm.
It's some fun parts, but the majority is boring. To get an advantage because it's coming. It's going to change a lot of industries and stuff like that. And like I said, people, you do not need to be an engineer, a computer science genius to get into this. I tell this people all the time, think out the box. It's a big industry that's blowing up that we're not seeing right now. I can guarantee you can't name 99.9% of people cannot name five blockchain companies. I could barely name them, right? But imagine if you knew the hundreds and thousands of blockchain companies. Now, if you're a caterer, you could go after them. Security, you could go after them. There's different ways to get money into it, but also look into ways how to learn about this technology, the basics, and play your part. I don't know nothing about technology, wallets, anything like that. I introduce you to people like the Crypto Black Group and Crypto Taxes. We all could play our part because listen, guys, we got to stop being behind, man. I'm not trying to be Malcolm X here, but we got to
The
stop being
truth.
behind and stop making excuses. It's out there. There's people that's doing free events. There's people that's doing $1 million events. There's people that's doing virtual events. We have no excuse to take advantage. If Crypto Black is saying, yeah, because I see he has a course, it's like, yo, $100, $79, invest in it. Don't be like, yo, why is it not 50? No, because it should be worth 1,500. That's why, guys.
Yeah,
But we gotta
yeah,
get past that.
yeah, bro. And that's the thing. Like, I created that beginner's course. It's only 75 for
Mm,
$75. I created that beginner's course because our other trading group and everything to be into is 500 a month.
okay,
You know what I mean? So some people say, "Hey, man, I can't afford that," and I'm like, I totally
understandable.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand. I know what you're coming from. Um, but you can afford $75, Especially if I see a Hennessy bottle over here, I see weed, you smoking, I see, you know what I mean, gear, you know, you can 475. And if you don't, you're gonna get left behind. Because I'm in that state in 2017, 2018, and going into 2019, I was still, you know, trying to convince people, listen, this is Bitcoin, this is this and that. Now I'm in the stage of, listen, if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Mm.
I want to talk to people that say, listen, I know the world is changing. I want to be a part of it. Because you don't want to spend too much time trying to convince people.
Yeah.
I have friends that I have in my text message, and I told them I'm going to use this story because I'm not gonna say their name. I'm gonna use their story.
You're gonna call him Bob.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just like, listen, when in 2020, when the market was pushing back up, ETH was under $100, Ethereum, and I said, yo, y'all should get some of these Ethereum. It's under $100. Get it. So I sent them a text message. Get it. And then when it was like 120, yo, buy yourself some Ethereum. 200, buy some. I'm telling you, get it. They like, oh man, word, yeah, it's moving up. Oh man, that's cool. 400, 500, $1,000. You know what I mean? Then the ETH went up to almost $5,000.
Mm.
So people like that, you can't convince.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's sitting there and you've seen it go from under $100 to $5,000. You can't convince them anymore. It doesn't matter. So what different people I like to do, that I say, okay, yeah, they cool. They, you know what I mean? I think they should get in. And they like, yeah, I'm ready. Then sometimes you give them like $10 for Bitcoin and let them see how it moves up and down. And then they say, okay, cool. You know what? Let me start buying some. Let me start buying some because I can see it move. I see it move up. If I would have put 500 in, man, I would have had $550. You know what I mean? And that's how they get orange pill too. So I think people need to understand it's not only just finance, it's also technology. And you have different jobs out there as well. People that just want to work in the industry. You have like Exodus, they had customer service jobs.
Yep.
They paying $50,000 to work from home. And they paying $50,000 in Bitcoin.
Mm.
You literally work from home doing customer service work. And you getting paid Bitcoin and you getting paid 50,000. You know what I mean? A year. So a lot of people, that's working at other jobs, customer service, getting paid 30,000. You can make 50,000 in Bitcoin. And on top of that, you're getting, you're able to actually, and that's taxable event, obviously you sell it, but you're able to get this currency, crypto, this Bitcoin, and then now you can say, you know what? I'll cash out 90%, but I'll keep 10%.
Yep.
And then over time, you'll see how your investment is going to grow.
That's dope. But let me ask you a question. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy guy. So how can people learn about your group? Is like private? Can they join? Like
Yeah,
what's the deal?
The Crypto Black group is totally free. It's on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at the Crypto Black. We give out a lot of information over there. Twitter, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel. So guys, I go to these conferences and I pay $1,000 get inside these conferences. I come back and I give it to my audience totally for free. So follow me on YouTube, Crypto Black on YouTube. Also on Instagram at the Crypto Black, Twitter at the Crypto Black. Every Friday and every Wednesday, we're on Wednesday, we're on Clubhouse. My man Mike Miller and I, we're actually talking about stocks and crypto. And on Twitter, we on Twitter Spaces every Friday at 7. So just follow me on Twitter or just join the Facebook group, Crypto Black Facebook group. And man, we're gonna get it going. That's totally free to get inside that group. Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. A lot of good information.
Yeah.
But man, thanks for having me on the show, bro.
Definitely appreciate you, man. Definitely gonna try to keep in contact with you, see what's going on. Maybe you might do some things together. But man, I just really want you to keep up the fight, keep on educating people because we need more people like you. And have a great day, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. You enjoy your day, man.
All right, you too. Peace.